Good evening, everyone, and welcome. Bonsoir tout le monde et bienvenue. This is Victor Alpha 3 Charlie Juliet Zulu opening the Amateur Radio Exchange Group, Simplex Net, also known as AREG, for Wednesday, May 15th, 2024. Um, it's the longest running Simplex Net in the Hamilton Dundas area. And this week is 1,600 times that AREG has been on the air consecutively. My name is Chuck, and my station is located in East Hamilton, Ontario. This net is on every Wednesday night, starting at 8 p.m. and ending around 10 p.m. local time here on 146.430 megahertz. And since this is a simplex net, not everyone will be able to hear everyone else. And so I've been streaming the net on YouTube for some time now, so people who tune in can hear stations they cannot hear on their radio. And they can hear how their audio sounds on the air, see their signal strength, as well as see my station layout. Just put in my call inside the YouTube search box, again, VA3CJZ, and you can look for us live. Tonight's title will be AREG Week 1600. Finally, we ask that you please leave a 1 to 2 second delay between transmissions to allow others to break in. Are there any time sensitive or mobile stations that would like to check in quickly? Please come now. Okay, let's open up the net then. This is VA3CJZ with the AREG net. Please come now.
VA3 AXJ.
Victor Alpha 3, Charlie Delta Victor.
Victor Echo 3, Zulu Juliet Charlie.
Okay, we got 3 there anyways to start with. Very good. We got AXJ, CDV, and ZJC. Let's say hello to number 1. Again, Rick, downtown Rick. Come on in.
Yeah, I missed last week there. I was so damn tired I fell asleep. I woke up at 10:30 and I thought, oh no, I missed the net. Chuck's going to rag me up next week. But anyhow, yeah, it was a rough week. A lot of work, a lot of busy stuff going on, and I'm just too exhausted.
I hear you, Rick. I hear you. I can't attend all the nets there. Sometimes I got, stuff going on, and and if you happen to be tuckered out and just be sitting there comfortably in your chair, or even laying down there taking a nap, no worries, my friend. Hey, you made it for the AREG 16 week 1600 there, my friend. Congratulations. So everything else. Going all right there, Rick?
Still having problems with my foot. Still swollen. It's gone down a bit though, but put me on water pills. Been on water pills for a week, and you know what? You don't want to run away too far from the bathroom because you end up doing something.
Yeah, I hear you there, Rick. I've got medicine I've got to be careful with too. And on that note, Rick, we're going to move down the list, and I'll get back to you before we start on this day. We'll do another round. So let's go to Cal, VA3CDV. Come on in, Cal.
Thanks, Chuck, and congratulations on this milestone, 1,600 weeks. That's quite an accomplishment. So congrats for that, and thank you for hosting the net. Just wanted to pop in and wish you my best wishes on this accomplishment. So good on you. Back to you.
All right. Thank you, Cal. Just so you know, we're at the just past the 30 and a half years. We've passed that. And 31 years. I don't know what net that will be, but it'll be in September. So that'll be 31 years being on the air. And I look forward to having a whole bunch of people check in for that one as well. So thank you very much. And anything new and exciting you can fill us in on there with your radio or antennas?
Not a lot has changed since last time we talked, Chuck. More or less the same configuration. I'm glad I'm getting out, and I understand the bands have been suffering lately. So when they're back and healthy, I'll give it a go at distance communications and see what happens there. But until then, I'm just hanging on these local repeaters. Back to you, Chuck.
Okay, Cal, very good then. All right, like I mentioned before, we will get to everybody after a second round, and so for now, let's clear with you and move down to ZJC, VE3 Zulu Juliet Charlie. Jason, come on in.
Good evening, Chuck, and everybody else on net. Congrats, sir, on helping this sucker get along to 1,600 weeks. That's quite the accomplishment, my friend. Nothing much for me today. It was another day in the office doing what I do, and come home and play some radio.
Yes, I've noticed the conditions seem to be improving. They might even be best this evening, right about now. That's probably where everybody is because it's a new POTA day at starting at 8 p.m. But hopefully, people will have time enough to do a quick check-in over here. Everything, all your equipment working okay there? You got anything new and exciting?
No, nothing new and exciting at the moment. I do still looking out my window at some antenna stuff that I want to adjust. I wish I had a bigger property, and yeah, I'm trying to keep this key down for a minute here to see if I can get the fan to kick in and see if I can get the buzz to come back. Yeah, there's as for the band conditions, the numbers have gotten a lot better, and I was doing a whole lot of studying. The sunspot region 3664, which was the one that was killing us the last few weeks, has turned around the other side of the limb of the sun. The strange, funny part is that coming on the new side is another sunspot cluster that just threw it an X2 point something earlier today, and looks to be potentially just as big as the last one. So we may be in for another rough ride in a couple of weeks. That latitude on the sun does a rotation every 28 days or so. So could be a rough ride ahead of us.
Yeah. Well, they did say it was going to peak. The sun solar cycle 25 would peak this summer. And so it's no surprise that there's a lot of activity on the sun before the poles flip again. Yeah, I think I was scrolling the news on MSNBC there, and there was an article about the sun there. So it's in the news quite a bit, actually, the sun activity. So yeah, well, let's hope for the best. The spring hasn't been the best. Normally spring is really good, but as you well know, we had some trouble.
No, absolutely, and I guess as a quasi new ham, I still haven't hit my first year anniversary yet for being licensed.
Oh yeah.
Getting in at the rough spot of the solar cycle means I've only got good times ahead of me. I will send it back to you, Chuck. We'll get this sucker going along and see how many more calls you can get in there. VE3 ZJC, back to net. Thanks for doing it, my friend.
Okay, not a problem there, Jason. And I didn't hear any buzzing. And I went to look at the YouTube stream, and I have a black screen. I'm not even sure if there's any video showing on my my live stream, because to me it's just showing a black screen. Can anybody comment on that?
Yeah, I got a feed here. You're good.
Okay, well, that's really weird because it's completely black here for me. All right, well, as long as it's still working, then we'll keep going. Thanks a bunch there, Jason. Do appreciate it. And yeah, I'm coming up in July. Will be when I took over for John 6 years ago. So in mid-July, that'll be my 6 year of handling the AREG net. Before that, it was John Sims who originated the net back in '93, I believe. Yeah, and it's called as VE3 JSU. That's Victor Echo 3 Juliet Sierra uniform. And his name is John Sims. And he put in many years doing the net every week. And so he's retired now up in Manitouwadge, Ontario, with the Black Bears. And hopefully he's doing well. I'm going to have to contact him again and see how he's making out. All right, thanks, Jason. And with that, let's see who else is out there. Would like to check in with us here on the weekly Amateur Radio Exchange Group. Please come now.
3KK. V3 Bravo Kilowatt.
Okay, I copied 2 stations there. Kevin beat you there, Rick. So we've got KKP and Bravo Kilowatt. Let's bring in Victor Echo 3 Kilowatt Papa.
All right, Jason, if you're still there, if you wouldn't mind giving Bill a contact on 7235. He's at Canal Park. Anybody else that wants to give him a shout there as well. He just wants to get out of there, get it activated and out of there before sundown. And how are you this evening, Chuck?
Hey there, Kevin. Yeah, that's right, folks. Go and give check in to Bill there. I listened for him earlier on 40 meters, and I wasn't even sure I was hearing nothing until I heard you. And when I heard you and I couldn't hear anything else, I knew, well, Bill was not going to be getting a check in from me.
Yeah, I hear you. Yeah, that was on 40 probably. On 20, he started doing really well with, he went hunting and then I guess he was working another one. And yeah, he's getting lots of contacts now. But yeah, he just wants to make sure he gets, just wants to make sure, he just worked in American there. Just came up. Anyway, yeah, he just wants to get out of there. But so he's done 2-day activations, one before 8 o'clock, and now he's on the second day. So I think he's getting pretty close.
All right, very good. And we have Chris RWJ checking in on YouTube, as well as Wade and Wayne B. So we've got VA3NCA, VA3FMB, and VE3RWJ. Thank you so much for checking in. I'll add you to the log. Okay, Kevin, thanks for checking in. I know you're probably going to have to run, but I do appreciate it. Thank you.
Yeah, not a problem. Just one question. When John was on the net there the last time, he said he was going to start a 40-meter net from up there. Do you remember what month or year he said he was going to do that?
He says that every time I talk to him. He wants to take over. He wants to restart the AREG net or take over the second half on 40 meters. And he's said it for the last 2 years, I think, maybe 3.
Okay. Anyway, I just thought of that today. I don't know why, but anyway. Okay. Yeah, I'll be back. I'm gonna zip over there and see how Bill's doing. The V3KKP.
All right, very good. Send him my best there. And yeah, that's right. John had floated the idea that he may want to take over at 9 o'clock. The AREG net and do it on 40 meters from his location in Manitouwadge, but I haven't heard anything back on that yet. So with that, thank you, Kevin. And now let's go to Rick, VE3 Bravo Kilowatt.
Yeah, hi, Chuck. Yeah, we missed you on Monday night. What frequency did he say it was on 40 meters? 7235 or? Oh, looks like I got somebody a little higher than that.
Yeah, I believe I know earlier it was 7225, but I'm not sure if that's where he is now. Maybe if we open up a POTA page, we might be able to spot him there. And I'll let you know quickly here. Yeah, 7235, 235.
Yeah, Roger on that. I heard somebody on there. Just while I was waiting for my turn here. Yeah, nothing to report. Anyway, just thought I'd tune in, and then I heard Kevin announce that somebody was on there, so I turned the HF on. So I'll go and listen and see if I can work somebody on there. V3 BK.
Okay, Rick. Well, just so you know, there on Monday I had a family thing going on, and on top of that, I I got this massive headache, and so that was a write-off for me. Sorry about that. And yeah, okay, Rick, we'll let you go. And if you want to drop in back in later, there, by all means, jump right in.
Yeah, conditions weren't too good on Monday anyway, so yeah, I didn't miss too much. Anyway, yeah, we talked to a couple of people. That was it. But pain conditions were lousy to start, and then later on they got better. And then I ended up talking to Mark V3RYI for a little while on 10, so didn't turn out too bad. Anyway, yeah, I'll go there and see if those guys are there. See what's going on. What frequency does the AREG net use on 40 meters, and what time are they on there usually?
Oh, no, no, I think you misunderstood there. We were talking about John, the founder of this net. When I talked to him up in Manitowoc, he had said that he may want to take over the net at 9 p.m. on 40 meters, but he doesn't have an antenna up yet. He doesn't have a station.
Oh, yeah, okay. Okay, very good. Okay, Kelly Ann, we'll be looking forward to listening in a little bit later when you do your thing on there, Chuck. So, thanks for being there. V3 BK.
All right, Rick, thank you so much for checking in. I hope to hear you again later. All right, and so I think I forgot to put Chris in the log. I put Wade and FMB in there, so put him in the log now and see who else is out there that would like to check in with us here on the 1600th AREG net. This is VA3 CJZ.
Victor Alpha 3, Whiskey Papa Golf.
Alpha 3 November, Charlie Alpha.
Okay, I think there was 2 doubles or 3 triples or something like that. I only caught WPG and IMW. Who else is in there?
OYL.
Victor Alpha 3 November, Charlie Alpha. RWJ.
Okay, OYL, RWJ, and Wade, NCA. All right, I may not have them in order because I already had Wade in there in the log and Chris, but let's start off with VA3 WPG.
Good evening, everybody. VA3, Whiskey Papa Golf. Not much going on here. Just had DHF on trying to hear Bill on some of the POTA stuff, and I got nothing. The only one I could hear is NFG. So figuring that I would be able to do more HF on POTA than with my little crappy antenna I got on my balcony here. So looking at some stuff on AliExpress, the same little, what do they call it, the brick radio that Bill's got, a Pac 12 and a 5 watt in, 50 watt out little amplifier. That's about $500. Arpad was saying there's no duties on Canada for ham radio gear. So how does that work? Do you need to tell the seller to mark it as ham radio gear, or does it come to the post office with duties and you got to prove to them it's ham radio gear before they drop the duties, or how does that work? Can anybody that orders AliExpress sort of comment on that? How does the duties work there?
Pretty much anything you buy from them, the price you see at the final, the price you see is what you pay. There's no taxes.
So that's on everything, or just ham radio gear? How does customs know the difference? They'll open it and see it's ham radio gear?
Well, for example, I've bought those Quansheng radios from them. I've bought several antennas for HTs, and if it says $5, it's $5. You know what I mean?
But once I thought that's anything under $100. But once it's over $100, then the duties kick in. I thought, but is that still ham radio exempt?
That I don't know. Maybe if you put something in your cart and before you press the buy button, that'll be your total. There won't be anything extra. Everything. I doubt that they would uh, stop it at the border for duty. Has anybody ever encountered any duty on anything from AliExpress?
VA3 IMW.
Yes, sir. Mac, go ahead.
Yeah. The stuff you buy off AliExpress, like you say, it shows up at your door, no duty due, and that includes stuff over $100, $100. So not to worry. My Pac 12, I think, was one of the items that I purchased from there, and when it showed up at the door, no duty pending, so wouldn't worry about it.
Okay, because I did order some non-ham radio related DJ gear, lighting equipment and stuff, and that did have duties on it. So I guess somehow no, it's ham radio gear. Okay, won't tie things up any further. Let's keep it going for now, and I'll send her back then. Thanks for the info, VA3 WPG.
Okay, Chris. Well, maybe we can hear some more from others once they check in there, or anyone that would like to comment on that, please go ahead. But for now, let's go to Mac. I think he's the next on the list. VA3 IMW. Or, yeah.
Okay, yep, it's just me. And congratulations on 1600. That's quite a mark. Real notch in the belt. In your little pile up there, I think there's also a QUU or QEE or something like that. Perhaps somebody that is closer to you clobbered them, but yeah, you definitely have some more stations in the waiting in the wings. So I'm not going to tie things up. Let's get everybody in the log, and maybe we can do a second round and bring up our topics of the day and all of our celebration items. I really don't have much traffic tonight there, Chuck. Just another $165 investment into global warming. So that's all I'm proud of today.
Okay, very good. Glad you're doing your part, Mac. And that might be Marty that was trying to check in there. Is there a station that I missed there? Please come now.
Victor Echo 3, Quebec Echo Echo.
General Chuck in low battery, Chuck. I'll get back to you on the base. VA3 NFG.
Okay, very good. So we've got Marty, VE3QEE, and Steve, VA3NFG on the portable, and he'll be back in his house in a bit. Anyone else? Okay, very good. So let's drop in and say hello to Debbie. Let's not keep her waiting. VA3OYL.
Good evening, Chuck, and all on frequency. Congratulations on 1600. That's quite the feat, and we appreciate all the work you've been doing. Not much going on here. I'm just watching the Professional Women's Hockey League playoffs, Toronto and Minnesota. So I'm going to be a one and done tonight.
Okay.
I haven't been doing any radio stuff. I've been doing a little bit of genealogy stuff lately, so I kind of put the radio to the side. And that's about all. Just doing, outside mowing the grass and all that stuff.
Yeah, I know. I've already cut mine twice there, and I was going to do it yesterday, and it started to rain, so no way I'm clogging up the mower. So I did it today around dinner time, and uh, you always feel so good after you've cut the grass because it looks like it's been groomed, sort of, right? So you kind of have that proud feeling. So. But yeah, now the wife just came home today with some bags of dirt there, topsoil. So I assume when she has some free time off work there, we're going to be doing a bit of gardening. So, and anyways, Debbie, we all go through those times where we don't want to do radio for a little bit and we'd rather do other stuff. So, very understandable. I do thank you for checking in tonight on the 1600. Much appreciated, Deb. Have a great rest of the evening. We'll talk to you again soon.
Okay, I'll say 7-3, and I'll be listening along here and there. And have a good evening, everyone. Victor Alpha 3, Oscar, Yankee, Lima.
Okay, Deb. Thanks again. Let's bring in Chris now, VE3RWJ. Chris, you still there?
Hello, Chuck. Congratulations on net number 1600. Boy, what a milestone. And over 30 years. I don't have any traffic. I just got a beam, which I hope to get up in the next month or so. And I just got the rotor and the other bits and pieces. That'll be VHF, UHF. Going to try that instead of the omnidirectional vertical. That's it from here. I just had a job come in through email. I hate to do work this late at night, but it's gig work. So when it comes in, I grab it. So we're going to listen to the net while we take care of that. VA3CJZ, V3RWJ.
Okay, very good, Chris. Well, thanks for taking some time out and checking in with us here on the 1600th AREG. And do appreciate it, sir. Your net is doing quite well. I think I heard you last I was listening. 18 check-ins in under half an hour there. That's that's great. And I don't even think you were finished. So thanks again, Chris. Have a great rest of the evening. Hope to hear you down the log soon.
Yep, you too. And it goes pretty quick. Yeah, 18 check-ins in 20 minutes. And I don't know if you got Marty. He was right behind me, QEE.
Yeah. Yes, sir, I did. And he's coming up next. Thanks, Chris. So let's bring in Marty, VE3 Quebec. Echo. Come on in, Marty.
Well, good evening and congratulations on 1,600 consecutive nets. That's a remarkable achievement, and it's a great way to keep the airwaves warm. Over.
Oh, absolutely. Middle of the week. It's a great way to break up the week there and spend a couple of hours and chit chat and tell us how things are going. Over.
I was just looking with interest at the call sign of Debbie, VA3OYL, and I wonder if she knows where OYL comes from.
What do you mean?
Were you just given that call sign, or did you select it for a reason? Over.
Oh, okay. Yeah, my original call sign, which I still have, is VE3DPA, and it was too hard to say. So I just waited around, and I saw the OYL call sign come up, and I picked it.
Well, do you know who Olive Oil is? OYL.
I do. And I think it's spelled the same way, right?
Roger, Popeye's girlfriend, Olive Oil, OYL. And as soon as I heard that call, I thought, by golly. So there you go. Anyway, it just hit me. So I won't forget that call, Debbie. Anyway, I'll turn it back to Chuck.
Yeah, okay. I tell everybody obey your leader. Back to you, Chuck.
That's right. When a young lady tells you to do something, you obey your leader. But I didn't know that, Marty. That's a great bit of trivia. We have a little bit of trivia usually on our second half of the net there, and that's certainly a great way to get things going. Thanks for that little bit of information. Didn't realize that, Marty.
Yeah, look it up on Google. Anyway, back to you, Chuck, and keep up the good work there. 73 for now.
All right, Marty. Thanks a bunch. Do appreciate your check-in, sir, on the 1600th consecutive AREG net. And coming this September, we will reach the 31-year anniversary. I'm not sure on the exact date there, but I'll be sure to let you know. So again, thanks, Marty. Do appreciate it. All right, let's see if we have someone else that's next on the list here. Steve, VA3NFG, said he would get back to us when he gets into the house. Let's see if he's. I think we got to take Wade first. I forgot about you, Wade. Sorry about that. Victor Alpha 3, November Charlie Alpha.
VA3 CJZ, VA3 NCA. Yeah, no worries. Chuck, I double dipped there with the YouTube and the radio, but to make it official, I had to key up on the air too. Yeah, 1600, a good number to hit. I did take the opportunity to look forward in the calendar. It'll be the 18th of September, which will be the 31st year, if my math is correct. So mark your calendars. That might line up with the picnic that Bill has been talking about for September. That might be a good parallel celebration to do. Right. So, anyways, not much going on with the radio right now. I've missed a couple of nets previous this week with work, but the nice side of it is that my schedule on the weekend has become a little bit more clear, and it looks like I'll be able to visit the Hamilton Junk in the Trunk on the morning of the Saturday. I just have to be at work at early afternoon, so I think I can make it work. So it's kind of nice that the schedule firmed up well. And I guess the only other thing is I'm a little hampered on my ability to POTA right now because my portable radio, the little Jagu thing, has developed a fault. I think I know what it is, but I'm going to have to crack it open to see if I can't fix it or not. Basically, the +8 volts on the hand mic is gone. And so the issue there is that with the stock hand mic, it needs that to bias the PTT. So if I plug in the stock mic, it immediately PTTs, which is not great. And if I plug in my little portable guy that's a less fancy mic, air quotes around fancy, but if it's just a simple mic, the audio is really low because the +8 is used to bias the microphone, and without it, you get really low audio. So anyways, long story medium is I'm going to have to crack that open and see what I can do about that before too long, because I'm going to need to get out and POTA soon. Anyways, other than that, nothing else radio. So I'll send it back to you there, Chuck. Thanks for running it as usual. VA3NCA.
Oh, very good. So, yeah, those radios they cost upwards of $500, don't they?
Yeah, they're in that ballpark. Actually, that does remind me. Yeah, so first of all, to answer the question, yeah, there's a few models from Jagu that are really popular with the POTA folk. There's the G90, which is about $400 or $500, and it I wouldn't mind having one of them. They sound like fun radios. Then there's the 5505 and the 6100. I have the 6100. It's got a bit of an SDR screen on it. So they're not icon prices, but they're okay for what they do. They have their problems, but they're okay for what they do. What I was going to say about importing radios, Yes, they are amateur radio transceivers, but not antennas or other things. It's got to be a transceiver on the list. They are duty exempt, but not tax exempt. You're going to have to pay the tax on it, and the shipper is going to have to declare it correctly for you to bring it in duty free. So when I got this radio, I did that, and I had to go up to a landed office, and the closest one to us is the Hamilton Airport. And I had to fill out a declaration and pay the tax, and then they waived the duty. And it's a bit of a process, but once you do it, then then they release your package with with a receipt that shows you paid the tax, and they waive the duty. So it can be done, and it can be done for a lot less than what FedEx and especially UPS is going to try and charge you. They wanted to have about $100 of brokerage on my radio just to fill in the paperwork that I could do in 10 minutes. So anyways, I won't hold it much any longer. I think there are people behind me, so that's the short answer on duty, is that the radio stuff is duty free, but the paperwork's got to be done right. Otherwise, they will by default charge you. Back to you.
All right. Well, I hope Cal was listening. Let's see if VA3 CDV is still there.
I'm still here.
Okay. Could you hear Wade talking about duty and taxes on amateur radios off of AliExpress?
I heard a conversation about that about 5 minutes ago. Then I left the room. I just came back now. So are you talking about just recently a transmission or prior?
Well, Wade, VA3NCA, just explained everything. If you have the YouTube live stream going, it's currently 8:37. I do have a clock on the YouTube stream. And if you go back to maybe 8:35, you'll be able to hear everything that Wade said about paying taxes and duty on stuff from AliExpress.
No, I appreciate that, Chuck. But I didn't ask the question about AliExpress. That was someone else.
Oh, my mistake. Then that must be WPG. Chris.
Yes, VA3WPG, and I did catch what he said there, and that was my concern. So if they do fill out the papers wrong, then there is still a way for me to get it done, but I have to go down there and do it myself. That's what I was suspecting. Okay, thank you.
All right, very good then, Chris. And I'm sorry about the mix-up, Cal and Chris. For some reason, got you mixed up there. So I'm glad that's all straightened out. And very good then. And so, okay, so let's continue on. I do believe Steve might be next. VA3 November Foxtrot Golf. Are you there? All right. Well, let's see if anybody else that's listening would like to check in with us here on the weekly Amateur Radio Exchange Group. This is VA3 CJZ. Please come now.
VA3LBI.
Okay, VE3LBI. Larry, come on in. How did Bill do?
I don't know. I couldn't hear him that well. I knew it was there, and just give me 1 second if it's okay with you. Mac, VA3MW.
Roger. VA3MW. I have the news and views on Bill's activation. He's got 11 in the log for the new UTC date, so we got it done.
Well, okay, excellent. And I didn't know whether you heard the guy call you back. I didn't know if there was 2 ops, but anyways, that's behind us, but at least you got them.
Oh, yes. Just the clamor in the crowd, covering them up when they called me in. It was a little muffled. Anyways, I appreciate the help there, Larry. And anything else I can do for you today?
No, sir. I just wanted to give you a shout there, that's all. Yes, okay. Well, as you heard, he got the new day covered for, I guess for, what is it? 16th, I guess it is. So UTC time, that is. Presently, it's the 15th.
And Mac and I were just up on another frequency working somebody on 40, and it was a little rough. There was quite a pile up there, Chuck. So other than that, busy day. Allergies have been really, really bad today. I think it's been because of the, we've had such great sunshine and nice breeze, but kind of the weather kind of slowed down and got a little damp today. So my allergies have been driving me crazy all day.
Oh, gosh, yes. When I turned 18 years old, I developed all these allergies in the spring. And so I went and got tested, and they do like a cross, like a tic-tac-toe thing on your forearm. And then they test all these things out, and it turns out I was allergic to grass, pollen, dust, of course, and ragweed, which doesn't show up till the fall, or late summer, I should say. And yeah, a couple of things I was allergic to. And when the hay fever hit me there, Larry, I couldn't breathe at night trying to sleep. I had to buy these special strips that you put on your nose, and it opens up your sinus a little bit. And it was horrible. And geez, about 10 years ago, it kind of stopped. So I'm glad of that.
No, there's a cycle for your allergies flows around. So, and talking about it, I was very young when I was diagnosed with it, and one of my actual worst enemies was ragweed. And just a little thing here, it's kind of interesting. Algonquin Park has no ragweed, and that's where we go camping every July because there was no ragweed up there. So, but anyways, yeah, it's one of those things that comes around. It doesn't keep with me for a long period of time. It's just one of those days. I think, like I said, it was kind of a dreary, kind of a damp day. So I was there and there's lots of stuff floating around. I mean, it's all, we're not even into June yet. It's still May, and the flowers are blooming, and the leaves are coming out, and all the pollen's in the air.
Yes, absolutely with the pollen. And I didn't know that about Algonquin. That's one of my most favorite places to go camp. I miss going there. And so, if I'm not mistaken, I do believe though that Southern Ontario portion where we live is very highly concentrated in ragweed. So, anyways, that's what I heard. Anyhow, Larry, thanks for checking in. I do appreciate it. And as Wade mentioned earlier, when I brought up the fact that the 31-year anniversary was going to be in mid-September, he looked up the date there, and it was the 18th. And then he reminded us that there's Bill and Mac, I think, are trying to organize a get-together. So I don't know. That's yeah. I just clicked in on that. So I'll be sure to listen in and see what the official plans are. Anything else, Larry?
No, but I think there was some discussion last week on the Friday night ZOE Reg Chew. Maybe some comments about it coming up. I had mentioned it, and I'm not sure if they have pulled stuff together. Anyways, it's something that might come up on Friday night of interest. So, yep, that's about it. I'm going to listen along. Actually, I'm going to sneak out to the garage for a couple minutes, and I'll be back in. Actually, I can listen out there too. So, all right. Anyways, back to you, Chuck. Thanks for doing it, and we'll be listening along.
All right, very good then. Let's do another quick call out, and then we'll do a second round before we start the trivia and on this day in history. Any other check-ins for tonight's Amateur Radio Exchange Group net? Please come now. This is VA3 CJZ, and my name is Chuck, and I'm located here by the Center Mall.
VE3 WKG.
Hey, VE3 WKG. I could hear this guy without an antenna or anything. Kevin, come on in.
Yeah, good evening there, Chuck. Boy, I was leaving a bit of a pause there, used to being on the repeater. And I thought, oh no, we're on Simplex there, that's for sure. Yeah, I've been listening along, thought I'd give you a check-in.
Right on, right on. Did you hear the part about Debbie's call sign? OYL.
And the olive oil.
Yeah, Popeye's girl. Yeah, I used to love watching that cartoon when I was a kid. It seemed like it only came on once in a while.
Yeah, good old Popeye and Brutus and Vic was on there. You know, Vic VMO. What's that? What was his name? Wimpy there. Got a hamburger?
Yeah, got a hamburger for me today and I'll pay you tomorrow. Something like that.
Yeah, you got it. All right, back on the site here. Listen along, just tinkering around with some stuff here, cleaning up some of Huey's old radios covered in black soot.
Oh, yeah, good luck. Good luck with that. Hope you can fix some. All right, Kevin, by the way, your check-in number 15, and of course that includes all the people that checked in on YouTube. And so once again, for those just checking in, I am streaming the net on YouTube, so people that can't hear everyone can go to YouTube and they can hear what I can hear. So just put in my call in the YouTube search. Again, that's VA3CJZ, and you can find us live. With that, one more call out. Anyone else wishing to check in to the AREG net, please come now. All right, let's go to the top of the list and say a quick hello to Downtown Rick, VA3AXJ.
Yeah, hanging in here, Chuck. Got a couple of things I got to do here, and waiting for on this day. So back to you.
All right, very good then, Rick. Glad you're still with us. How about Cal, VA3 Charlie Delta Victor? You still with us?
Yeah, I'm still here, and glad I heard Rick there. Rick, I just wanted to thank you again for the free cable you gave me. It actually did work out. I'm using it now, and it seemed to have solved my issues. So thanks again, my friend. Not much more to add at this point. Chuck, back to you.
That's good news there, Cal. I'm glad it helped. I don't need it. Like I said, that's old call action. I used it for maybe a year or so. Then I replaced it also. Okay, I'll clear the frequency and get back to Chuck.
Okay, very good. You know, I did hear you say Rick gave you a cable, and I was trying to think, Rick, is it Rick BK? Or I never would have thought it was you there, Rick. Way to go. All right, so how about Jason? Anything new? Any comments or announcements? VE3 Zulu Juliet Charlie. How about Kevin? You still there? VE3 KKP. Let's go back to Rick. VE3 Bravo Kilowatt. Rick, are you there? Okay. Does anyone have any announcements they'd like to bring forward? Please come now.
Well, I don't know. I guess I could mention it's VE3QEE here. There is the flea market in Grimsby this weekend at the in the parking lot at the church there. I forget the name of the church. We were there last year and the year before, so you could look it up on HamiltonARC.com.
Oh, yes, that's right. That's the Hamilton Amateur Radio Club flea market this May 18th. Here we go. Hamilton Arc Grimsby. Steeltown Tailgate Treasures. Too bad it's not down on the beach anymore. And so that'll be at the church in Grimsby. Take the QEW and exit at Casablanca Boulevard. Turn left onto Livingston Avenue. And then turn right before the church as shown on the map to the general admission area. All parking is free on site after going through admission area. I'm not sure if it says here how much it is. Vendors, $15. And uh, yeah, how much is it to get in there, Marty?
I don't really know. I don't know. $5 would sound reasonable, but I hope they're not charging any more than that. But I can check the website and get back to you, Chuck. VE3QEE. By the way, I don't hear everybody, but I've got the website on. It's about full 5 seconds after what comes over the air. Interesting.
Yeah, it's not instantaneous. There's a bit of a delay sometimes. It's a little longer for others. Also depends if you have your settings on the YouTube set to high definition. It might catch up on the time. I know you can go 720 pixels, and then there's the high definition one. We are running the high definition one, so just so you know. And I do see here it says after it says you supply your own tables, it says public is $5 each and children are free. The event opens at 7:30 a.m. for vendor setup, and the public at 9 a.m. And the Hamilton Amateur Radio Club repeater, which is 146.760, they'll be using that. And there's also the simplex frequency of 146.520. If you're in the area there, you can tune in to either one of those frequencies to maybe get directions or what have you. All right, Marty, thank you very much for that. I'd forgotten to mention that earlier, so much appreciated. Anything else, sir? Well, I have you here.
That was a double.
Oh, there we go. Let's bring it back. Give it back to Marty there. I think I keyed up with you.
I just said thank you for the shout out. 73 VE3QEE.
All right, very good, Marty. Thank you, and we'll talk to you again soon. And so, with that, let's hand it over to VA3WPG.
VA3WPG, still here, listening along. Not really much to put in this time around, but I don't know. Any fans of the old show Gilligan's Island? Funny little thing on the bottom of my QRZ I just put on there today. Check it out if you like Gilligan's Island. Other than that, we'll keep going this time around. VA3WPG.
Okay, Chris, that's funny you brought that up because on this day I do have something that involves Gilligan's Island, but I don't want to give it away just yet. When I read it off there, it'll click in. So thanks for that, Chris. And I think Mac is next. VA3IMW. Mac, anything else to add, sir?
What can I add? Bill successfully finished his activation. He's just resting his weary bones at Tim Hortons, having a cup of coffee. What else? Oh, yes. We will be discussing potential dates, times, and locations for our September get-together. We're thinking, a couple of weeks after Labor Day, once everything settles down. One of the potentials is Dundurn Castle. Obviously, us old codgers who get up early in the morning anyways. We'll see if we could get in and out before wedding venues and other people of that nature come and invade the park. And hopefully it's not too messy in the parking lot. Hi. Anyways, yeah, we'll talk about that on Friday night. Bill and I and KKP Kevin had a quick review about our opportunities there. So maybe even have an opportunity to do a multiple operator activation while we're there. So I know for sure I'll have Pac-12 set up, and I'm also bringing a small generator, a really, really, really big coffee pot, and we'll have some snacks, and we'll discuss the little bits and pieces once we get around to it on Friday night. Anyways, Chuck, once again, I'm absolutely, totally proud of you for keeping up the tradition of this net. 1,600 weeks is just an awesome thing to do. I can't think of anybody else who's managed to steer the ship in that way. Obviously, John Sims was the originator and initiator of this net, but it looks like you've carried quite a load thereafter. So, from the bottom of our hearts to you, Chuck, thanks for keeping it up. And I always say our net controllers are not appreciated for all the hard work they put into things. It is dedication. Anyways, I'll turn it back to you, and I'm sure everybody's waiting for on this day.
Thank you so much, Mac. Yes, I do put a lot of my heart into it, and I really enjoy it. So it's a pleasure. But thank you for the compliment. And also, maybe just to throw it around there, the 31-year anniversary will be on September 18th. Maybe our get-together can be a celebration of the upcoming 31-year anniversary as well. We can throw that into the pot.
Absolutely. Yep. That's another milestone, and we certainly look forward to that. I'm not sure what that date lines up to, but even so, we can float a banner up in the sky on a kite with a celebration of the Amateur Radio Exchange Group for 31 years. Hamilton, POTA. What's the? Yeah, we can have all kinds of banners and signs, and give the amateur radio hobby a real boost as far as public awareness goes. And everybody's going to say, "Hey, we didn't know you old guys are still doing that stuff."
Yeah, maybe we can get Pierre to fly one of his RC planes there, and we'll put a banner on the back of it. Oh, dear. All right. Well, yeah, there's plenty of time to work out every detail there. So, just throwing things up in the air. But thank you, Mac, for all that. And with that, does anybody else have any comments or questions, or would like to check into our AREG net? Please come now.
Just a quick comment, the Easter LBI.
Yes, sir, Larry. Go ahead.
Oh, just something I thought about. I've been talking to Garnett and Dave off and on. They are in Amherst, Nova Scotia. Be heading back Friday morning.
Oh, very good. Yeah, thanks for the update. I did look him up on APRS yesterday, and he's right there near the Bay of Fundy. And so I hope he's got good weather.
When I spoke to him yesterday, he said it was absolutely, they had 24 degrees Celsius, whatever that is in Fahrenheit, but they said it was very warm and very pleasant. And there was something else I was going to ask you, and I don't remember what it was. So maybe it'll come back to me, and if it does, I won't interrupt, but I'll save it and write it down on a piece of paper with a pencil I have in front of me, and I'll ask you after.
Okay, very good, Larry. Thanks. Okay, anyone else in there would like to check in? please come now. This is VA3CJZ. Well, there you go. Now it's 8:59 p.m. and we're going to do the second half of the net. Currently, I have 16.4 degrees outside the CJZ studio, and I did have a little bit of history or trivia I wanted to share with you. Let's see now. Did you know dogs have a unique nose print, and it's similar to a human's fingerprint? Did not know that. Oh yeah, I did the insects last year. Yeah, I got to say that one again. In an average lifetime, people eat around 70 assorted insects while sleeping. That's in a lifetime, so don't feel so bad. All right, let's skip over to the next one here. Not interesting. Not interesting. Let's just go to the on this day. Maybe I'll go back to the trivia a little bit later. So this is on this day 168. That's how many weeks I've been doing on this day on this net. And we'll start off with famous birthdays. And we go to the year 1859 on May 15th. Pierre Curie was born. He became a French physicist and Nobel Prize winner in 1903, and he's the husband of Marie Curie. We all know her for having played with X-rays. He was born in Paris, France, and he died in 1906. All right, this next guy, never knew his name, but I thought he did a great job. And that's Harvey Broston. He was born on this day, 1943. And Harvey, that's no Y on the end, just an E. It's an American comedy writer, and he wrote for All in the Family, TV series from 1975 to 1977. That man must have one sense of humor. All right, 10 years later on this day, Mike Oldfield was born in 1953. He's a British musician and composer, and he composed and performed our Tubular Bells from the movie The Exorcist. If you hear that, it's one of those tunes that will stick in your head. Next, born on this day, 1957, Kevin Von Erich. He's an American professional wrestler, along with, I think, 4 of his brothers. There was a whole whack of brothers, the Von Erichs, as they were known. Very famous wrestlers back in the day. I remember them back when wrestling was in black and white, if you can believe that. Next, we got Emmett Smith, turning 55 today. He was born in 1969, and he is an American college and pro football Hall of Fame running back, many Super Bowls and MVPs with the Dallas Cowboys. That's the only team he ever played for. And that's he was born in Florida. All right, next we have one of Frank Zappa's sons, born on this day, 1974. Ahmet, spelled A-H-M-E-T. Ahmet Zappa, American musician and actor, novelist and filmmaker, born in L.A., and he's also the trustee of the Zappa Family Trust. Now, I remember David Letterman. He used to upset some of the celebrities. Well, Frank Zappa appeared on David Letterman, and Frank Zappa, before he even sat down, told Letterman, if you make fun of my children's names, I'm walking out of here. Because his children, he had a child named Dweezil, and the other one, Moon Unit, and then this one, Ahmet. So Letterman had to zip it in order for Frank Zappa to stay on the show. Interesting. Next, we have a young lady by the name of Zara Phillips, turning 43 today. Born in 1981, she's the English daughter of Princess Anne. Born in London, of course, and Princess Anne is the only daughter of Queen Elizabeth II. Just so you know, she's got a 43-year-old daughter. And so that's it for famous birthdays on this day. Do we have any comments, questions, or clarifications or check-ins? Please come now. All right, famous people passing away on this day in history. Who died today in history? First one on my list is Emily Dickinson, passing away in 1886. She was an American poet, very famously known, studied in school. She dies of something called nephritis at the age of 55. Next, we go to a Canadian, Joe Malone, passing away in 1969. He is a Canadian hockey Hall of Fame center, and he's the only player in NHL history to score 7 goals in a single game, and that was in 1920. And he won the Stanley Cup in 1912 and 1913 and 1924. He was 79 when he passed away. He played first for the Quebec Bulldogs and then later on the Montreal Canadiens. I love it when they have Canadian stuff in here for me to read. Next, we got June Carter Cash, passing away in 2003. Of course, that's Johnny Cash's wife. She's an American Grammy Award-winning country singer herself. The Carter Family and the Johnny Cash Show, 2 TV shows. She's a songwriter for the song Ring of Fire that Johnny Cash famously sang. She was also an actress and died of complications after a heart valve replacement surgery at the age of 73. And finally, passing away on this day in 2022, 2 years ago, Ricky Gardiner. He's a Scottish rock guitarist for Bowie and Iggy Pop. And he was also a composer. Dies at the age of 73. Again, any comments, questions, clarifications, or anyone wishing to check in to our weekly net here, please come now. All right, we have the trial of Anne Boleyn in the year 1536. We're going to move on to today's historical events. So in 1536, Anne Boleyn and her brother George, Lord Rochford, are accused of adultery and incest. Brother and sister here. She was married. She was the second wife of King Henry VIII of England, and I think she was executed by, of course, King Henry VIII. Then in 1602, we have the discovery of Cape Cod, and that's off of the state of Massachusetts, and it's discovered by English navigator Bartholomew Gosnold. Never heard of him. Next, we got King Louis XIII. In the year 1610, Parliament of Paris appoints Louis XIII as French king. 1672 now is the first copyright law enacted by the state of Massachusetts. Wow, 1672. Didn't know it was that old. All right, here's one for, those guys that make signs for hospitals and stores and whatnot. This guy would have made a fortune. Check this out. In 1817, it's the first private mental health hospital opens in the U.S., and it's called Asylum for the Relief of Persons Deprived of the Use of Their Reasons, or their reason. Now it's just called Friends Hospital in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. I guess they figured out that name was too long. All right, let's jump to the year 1836. Francis Bailey observes what's called Bailey's beads during annular solar eclipse. Now, the Bailey's beads, you might ask, what are they? Well, that's the diamond ring, or more rarely, double diamond ring effects. There are features of a total and annular solar eclipse. At one point, if you did watch our eclipse recently, you'll notice there was a point where you could see the diamond in a diamond ring off to an angle. I know I did. And those are called Bailey's beads. Didn't know that. All right, now let's go back to the Europeans crossing the plains. The first, in 1841, we have the first immigrant wagon train to make it to California, leaves Independence, Missouri on a 1,730-mile journey over the Sierra Nevada. So if you know where Missouri is, they had to travel by wagon and horse to California. Rough, I'm pretty sure. All right, let's go to 1862 now. The first baseball enclosure opens at Union Grounds in Brooklyn, New York. I'm assuming before that, it was just an open field, no barriers anywhere. No, I don't know where the home run would be, but interesting. And also in 1862, we have the United States Department of Agriculture is created. Next, we have May laws. In 1882, we have the May laws. That's spelled M-A-Y, like the month. And that is because of Russian Tsar Alexander III bans Jews from living in rural Romania. You know, it's funny. I mentioned this before, but it seems like every week that I have on this day, there's something about the Jews getting kicked out or something. But anyways, moving right along. Next, we have Louis Riel is captured. In 1885, Canadian Métis insurgent Louis Riel is captured in the aftermath of the Battle of Batoche in Saskatchewan. So the Métis insurgent. All right. Who here owned a Philips product growing up? You know, they had tape decks, razors. Nowadays, you'll find Philips razors and stuff like that. I know I grew up with Philips products in our home, and Philips began operations in Holland back in 1891 on this day, and it was called Philips and Company, Philips and Co. Philips was formerly one of the largest electronics companies in the world. The company was founded in 1891, like I mentioned, by Gerard Philips and his father Frederick, with their first products being light bulbs. It currently employs around 80,000 people across 100 countries. Did anyone grow up not ever seeing a Philips product in their house? Makes you think, eh? All right, so let's go to 1905. Las Vegas is founded in Nevada. The settlement of Las Vegas, Nevada was founded in 1905 after the opening of a railroad that linked Los Angeles and Salt Lake City. I'm sure it wasn't a very big town either in 1905, but it is now. So let's go to 1912. Major League Baseball's Ty Cobb rushes a heckler at a New York Highlander game and is suspended. Ty Cobb, of course, is a Major League Baseball Hall of Famer. Let's go to 1912 on this day is the first regular U.S. airmail postal service between New York, Philadelphia, and Washington, D.C. That's right at the end of the war, 1918. One year later, 1919, is the beginning of the Winnipeg General Strike, as more than 30,000 workers walk off the job in Winnipeg in the largest strike in Canadian history. And it ends on the 25th of June. Woo! That's a month and 10 days or so. Wow. It did not immediately, the strike resulted in arrests, injuries, and the death of 2 protesters. And it did not immediately succeed in empowering workers and improving job conditions. But there you go. Winnipeg has the record for the largest strike in Canadian history. Mickey Mouse makes his first ever appearance in the silent film Plane Crazy. Plane spelt like aeroplane, Plane. 1928 on this day, first Mickey Mouse appearance. And if you've ever checked out the different types of Mickey Mouses they've had over the years, the early ones are a little bit scary, let me tell you. All right, so let's go to 1930. Ellen Church becomes the first female airline stewardess aboard a United flight from San Francisco to Cheyenne. That's in 1930. Next, Wanted, Dead or Alive. 1934, the United States Department of Justice offers $25,000 reward for Dillinger, dead or alive. Oh, and did anyone go to McDonald's today? Because on this day in 1940, Richard and Maurice McDonald opened the first McDonald's restaurant in San Bernardino, California. Do you know if there's any deals on McDonald's today? Anyone? All right, 1941. New York Yankees Joe DiMaggio starts a 56-game hitting streak. Wow. No wonder Marilyn Monroe married him, eh? All right, in 1944, Dwight D. Eisenhower, Bernard Montgomery, Winston Churchill, and King George VI discuss the plan for D-Day. King George VI, of course, is Queen Elizabeth II's father. And so they discuss D-Day. And let's go to 1948 now. This is a good one. Troops from Egypt, Lebanon, Syria, Iraq, and Saudi Arabia attack Israel. I think that's the foundation year of the state of Israel. So it's nothing new what's going on there today. All right, moving on. On this day, 1951, AT&T becomes the first United States corporation to have 1 million stockholders after a young car salesman, Brady Denton, purchases 7 shares worth $1,078, and that made it hit the 1 million. All right, I don't know how many of you people know this, but the world's fifth highest mountain is called Makalu, Makalu. And in 1955, on this day, was the very first ascent of such mountain. It has a summit at an elevation of 8,485 meters. That's 27,838 feet. And it is located in the Himalayas, about 19 kilometers or 12 miles southeast of Mount Everest on the China-Nepal border. And it's also shaped like a 4-sided pyramid. Interesting. Next, we have the UK testing a hydrogen bomb in 1957, Operation Grapple, where Britain tests its first hydrogen bomb near Christmas Island in the Indian Ocean. Look it up on Google. Christmas Island. Here we go. A Sputnik story now. In 1958, on this day, the USSR launches Sputnik 3. So there are a total of 4 Sputnik launches, and Sputnik 3 was a Soviet satellite launched on the 15th of May, 1958, and it was a modified ICBM rocket that they used, and the scientific satellite carried a large array of instruments for geophysical research of the upper atmosphere and near space. Sputnik 3 was the only Soviet satellite launched in 1958. The very first Sputnik was launched in 1957. And my next story segues right into that. In 1960, also on this day, Sputnik 4 is launched into orbit, and the recovery of that later failed. So there you go. There were a total of 4 Sputniks launched. No wonder the U.S. was trying to win the space race. The Russians were getting ahead. All right, another Canadian story now. In 1965, the Canadian Football Players Association organizes. So that means the CFL Players Union, I'm guessing. And Paul McCartney meets his future wife, American photographer Linda Eastman, on this day in 1967. Then in 1972, the island of Okinawa, under United States military governance since its conquest in 1945, reverts back to Japanese control. So the Americans gave the island of Okinawa back to Japan in 1972. Two years later, 1974, we have the Ma'alot massacre. That's where a Palestinian terrorist takes a school hostage, and 25, mostly children, are killed and 68 injured. That's back in 1974. And now the Gilligan's Island angle that I mentioned earlier. on this day in 1981. This is why I missed it. The TV comedy film The Harlem Globetrotters on Gilligan's Island airs on NBC. Did you guys, did anybody watch that one? All right, maybe you can let me know when I do the last round. I know I missed it, and I've never seen it since, so I'll have to look that one up. All right, in 1989, Major League Baseball's Toronto Blue Jays fire manager Jimmy Williams, and they replace him with Cito Gaston, who went on to win the series, win the championship a couple of times. All right. A year later, in 1990, we have the portrait of Dr. Gachet, or Gachet, for you Anglos. It's a portrait made by Vincent van Gogh, and it sold for $82.5 million. That's back in 1990. You guys heard of Manuel Noriega? Well, in 1991, the Department of Defense releases documents claiming Noriega is the CIA's man in Panama. So Noriega worked kind of with the CIA because the CIA had a habit of putting dictators in place. And so they would let these guys do what they want as long as they cooperated somehow with the CIA. So there you go. (1991), the slowest 9-inning baseball game. It lasted 4 hours and 11 minutes for one game, and that was between the Red Sox and the White Sox. There you go. Maybe they were too busy pulling up their socks all the time. If anyone's been to Texas, have they ever heard of the Alamo Dome? In 1993, the Alamo Dome in San Antonio, Texas opens, and it's still open to this day, apparently. So that's a long time for a football field or a dome to be still in service. That's 31 years now. And let's go to some more sports. In 1993 as well, the Montreal Expos retire their first number 10, who is Rusty Staub. That's back in my day. All right, we're almost done here. In the year 2010, Jessica Watson, at age 16, becomes the youngest person to sail solo, nonstop, and unassisted around the world. In 2022 now, the British rock band The Who returns to Cincinnati, Ohio for the first time since a tragic December 1979 stampede that killed 11 concert goers from around the world. Now, I remember back when they had general admission for concerts in the 70s, and let me tell you, they were so crowded at the front doors that I was at one concert, and the crowd was so thick that I was able to lift both my feet, and I was still standing, if you can believe that. And so I'm not surprised. All right, my final little bit of information here is about cover model Martha Stewart. Just last year on this day, Martha Stewart is Sports Illustrated oldest ever cover model at the age of 81, appearing as part of its swimsuit issue. I wonder if she wore a swimsuit for that. I'll have to look that up. Well, that's it for On This Day in History. I hope you guys enjoyed it as much as I did researching it and telling you all back these fine details. Are there any questions, comments, or check ins for this week's AREG Net? Please come now. All right, let's do another call out. Do we have any check ins for this week's Amateur Radio Exchange Group? Net, this is VA3 CJZ. Please come now. All right. Hey, I'm going back to the trivia for a few minutes, if you don't mind. Did you know that a former NASA scientist invented the super soaker? Yeah. With the job of NASA engineer on his resume, Lonnie G. Johnson would already be considered an impressive person by anyone's standards. However, not only did he help develop the United States Air Force's stealth bomber program, according to the Daily Press, but he also invented the Super Soaker water gun in the 1980s. Inspired while trying to develop an eco friendly heat pump, Johnson eventually licensed his design to Laramie Corporation, later acquired by Hasbro. And the classic squirt gun went on to generate sales that were truly out of this world. He reportedly made so much money from the toy that he was able to fund his own research and development company, which focuses on clean energy. There you go. And did you know little brown bats sleep more than any other mammal on Earth? That's right. And you thought you were tired. These little guys get so much shut eye that Guinness World Records even deemed the species the king of nappers. When observed in captivity, little brown bats have reportedly slept for 19.9 hours straight. That's more than 80% of the day snoozing. Great Great white sharks are so scared of killer whales that they'll avoid an area for up to a year after spotting one. The majority of humans may be afraid of great white sharks, but that doesn't mean that the sharp-toothed ocean predators don't have fears of their own, one of them being another kind of big swimmer, the orcas, also known as killer whales. In fact, a 2019 study published in the journal Nature suggests that they're so terrified of the ferocious whales that they'll avoid an area for up to a year if they encounter one, or even if it's just passing by. Do you know what a rally is in tennis and ping pong? That's basically one round. Whenever the ball is somebody loses. How do I say it? A rally. It's until, like in ping pong, whoever loses, that's called a rally, or whoever wins, it's called a rally. So, just for one rally, the longest tennis rally lasted over 12 hours. And in ping pong, there is a black and white video of Bruce Lee playing two men ping pong, and he uses nunchucks to shoot the ball back. Not a bat, not one of those ping pong bats. He uses nunchakus, and it's simply amazing. All right, did you know the first pieces of gold at Fort Knox arrived by mail? Yeah. The very first gold bar that arrived at the Bullion Depository in 1937 wasn't particularly well protected. In fact, according to the United States Mint, the gold was too heavy to fly in, so it was mailed there by train through the Post Office Department, today's United States Postal Service. There you go. Would have been a great day for a train robbery. All right, so we'll pause that for now, and let's go up and do a 7-3 round before everyone falls asleep. Before we do that, are there any check-ins or comments for this week's AREG Net? This is VA3CJZ.
VA3 NFG, we're back at the home 20 there. We can make this my 7-3. Good net there, Chuck, 1600. Mile marker for sure. And everybody out there listening, have a good evening and all the best in the next year. So we make 1601. Like to see everybody reach that day. Back to you, Chuck. VA3 CJZ, VA3 NFG.
There you are. Well, thanks for coming back there, Steve. Awesome for you to check in on this 1600. And I noticed I don't hear George anymore. And George used to check in every week also, but now he hasn't for a while. But I haven't even heard him on ZOE. Has anyone heard George recently? Steve, have you?
George has gone up in a trailer.
Oh, right. Okay. Thanks, Larry.
Yep, no problem. I talked to him, I forget when he was going up. Anyways, it was a couple of days ago. He was heading up the trailer. Apparently, his wife's going up with a bunch of women. He's cleaning stuff up and coming back, I think he said Friday or Saturday morning, one or the other.
Yeah, that's right. George did mention that they're going to use the trailer this year, and then probably put it up for sale in the fall again.
Yep. Anyways, I just thought I'd throw that in for you because I had been speaking to him. So yeah, he was going to head up and do a few things, clean up, had some bush to move around, and get some stuff opened up for them. So for the weekend, yeah, because I guess this is the long weekend too. That's right, May 24th.
Really? Because the 24th is like next Friday. So I thought that was weird, but yeah. Okay.
Yep, Monday's a holiday, Victoria Day, so get ready for the fireworks.
Yeah, and keep your dogs inside or else they'll freak out. Some of them take it really bad. So, anyways. All right, Larry. Well, thanks for that reminder.
Not a problem, Chuck. All right, carry on. BE3LBI.
All right, and thank you, Steve, for your check-in. Do you have anything else to add before we go down the list here, Steve?
No, that's all for now there, Chuck. I've got an early day tomorrow and Friday. So I'll maybe be hanging around another 20 minutes. That's about it for me. So have a good rest of your night, everybody. And we'll catch you next time for sure, VA3 NFG.
All right, quickly before you go, what kind of cereal you having?
Shreddies with walnuts. Oh, and I got strawberries, and I forgot to put them in. Isn't that a shame?
I know, eh? We're so used to the winter not really having access to fruit at a cheap price that when they do come in, like us, we got, blueberries, strawberries, whatever. It's a good idea to throw it in there. Oh, well, more for tomorrow.
Yeah, no doubt, eh? I should probably put a little message in the bowl, write it on pen on a piece of paper and leave it in there for tomorrow. We got 2 quarts of them, and they're looking pretty good. I have no idea what we paid because I didn't go out and do the shopping today. So But I know the missus there. She won't. If they're over $3 or $3.62 or whatever that number is, she won't get them. So she probably got them for like $1.98 or I don't know, something. I'm sure it was a good deal. Anyway, no, that's it there, Chuck. We'll have to remember the strawberries tomorrow for sure.
Yeah, put it on the whiteboard on the fridge there, or a post-it note so you don't forget. Oh, that's good. That's good. And my goodness, I've been shopping recently there, and I noticed packages on everything are getting smaller, and you're paying more. Cereal boxes, for one, are narrower now. They're smaller, and they hold less than they used to. And if you buy cookies, you'll notice cookies are much smaller than they used to be. And so is everything else. It's crazy, and it's noticeable. Before there were just little subtle changes. Now it's quite noticeable. All right, so let's go up to the top of the list, and let's see how Rick is doing there. VA3AXJ.
Yeah, hanging in there, and congrats on the 1600, whatever it is there. What's that, 30 years, I think? Something like that. Yeah, I was supposed to go away this weekend too, but with my back the way it is, I think I'm going to opt out to that and stay around the shack here and do the odds and ends that I have to catch up on. It's not that I don't want to go away, it's that the back says no, the mind says yes, you don't know what to do.
I hear you. I hear you, Rick. I'm in the same boat. I'm lucky I managed to cut the grass today. The mind says yeah, but the back says, and the legs say, I'm not sure. Anyways, all right, my friend. Well, you take care of yourself, and do appreciate you checking in. And by the way, it's not a big milestone. It's just 1,600 consecutive nets. That equals actually 30.68 years. You can ask Google to do the math, what 1,600 weeks equals to, and it should say 30.687 and yada, yada years. But the big 31 years, Rick, that'll be just around the middle of September. So anyways, we got time until then. Take care, my friend. Have a great rest of the evening.
Yeah, thanks, Chuck. The good night. 7-3s.
All right. How about Cal? Victor Alpha 3, Charlie Delta Victor. Cal, are you still there? It's the 7-3 round. Sort of leaving a little space in there because I know some of you are watching the YouTube stream. And so let's see if Jason is still there. VE3 Zulu Juliet Charlie. VE3 KKP Kevin. Last round. Rick. Victor Echo 3 Bravo Kilowatt. 7-3 round, Rick.
Hey, it looks like I came back in time. Yeah, I was on 40 meters once I turned the HF radio on. Yeah, I get carried away. Anyway, no good DXO. Mostly Americans, and but I had some fun doing that. Anyway, thanks for being there, Chuck, and thanks for doing the net. Great job. Anyway, VA3 Charlie Juliet Zulu from B3BK and 73 to everybody.
Okay, Rick. Well, thank you for being part of the AREG 1600th net consecutive, and do appreciate it. And we'll be checking in with you on Mondays there. So take care, and we'll talk to you again soon. By the way, thanks for that email you sent me on flea market lingo. I thought that was pretty funny.
Oh yeah, that's pretty funny. Yeah, but a lot of it's true.
Yep, absolutely. Buyer beware. But there's some good stuff out there. You just got to know. Just got to know. All right. So thanks, Rick, and we'll clear with you. And let's go to Wade out in Dundas, Victor Alpha 3, November Charlie Alpha.
Hey, good net as usual, Chuck. Happy 1600, or I think in the old way of speaking, 1 mile. Isn't that right? Something like that. And good way to spend a Wednesday as usual. If you want other numbers for this, I looked them up in computer speak. If you wanted this in binary, it would be 11 billion, 1 million weeks. So that sounds impressive. On the other hand, if it's in hexadecimal, it's 640 weeks. So let's stick with decimal at 1600 and look forward to the next milestone. Thanks for doing it again, and 7-3 to you and all on that. VA3NC back to net control.
Okay, Wade. Well, thank you for that information. I'm good in math, but yeah, let's stick to the decimal. Very good then, Wade. Thanks again for being part of our net as usual. And you have yourself a great rest of the evening. And looks like it'll be good for POTA this weekend if the weather holds up, because there's not many nets. I think there's only one that's only a few hours long for sideband. And there's a couple of digital ones. There's nothing really worth mentioning. So it'll be good for POTA. The bands won't be crowded. So good luck this weekend, you POTA activators and hunters. And congratulations, Bill. VE3IUK just came on YouTube and checked in with us there. Hi, Bill. And congratulations on another successful solo activation. And so I'm sure everybody's waiting for you to put your logs in. Hi. So thanks for checking in, Bill. You made it. All right. Of course, we also had Wayne B, Victor Alpha 3, Fox Mike Bravo in Mississauga. Thanks so much for checking in, Wayne. And I hope you enjoyed it. I don't know if Chris is still around, but we'll give him a shout. VE3RWJ. Chris, are you within earshot? It's the 7-3 round. All right, let's go to Chris. Victor Alpha 3, Whiskey, Papa Golf.
Victor Alpha 3, Whiskey Papa Golf. Not much more for tonight. Everybody have a good evening. 73, and catch you on. Back to the net. BA3WPG.
Okay, Chris, thank you for sticking around and coming back. Hope you enjoyed yourself. Let's go to Mac now. Victor Alpha 3, India, Mike Whiskey.
Great net as usual, Chuck. Thanks for doing it. And just to let you know that Jason and Kevin are up on ZOE helping Scott with, dare I say, FT8, WSJTX. Anyways, yes, here's to another 1600. Let's double it. And as I said before, yes, we'll be talking about September get together on Friday night's Rag Chew. So other than that, carry on, my friend. And again, certainly appreciate your dedication to the hobby.
Okay, Mac. Well, thank you so much again for that compliment, and hope we keep it people interested, and we try to keep it as lively as possible and entertaining at times. And so thank you again, Mac, VA3IMW. And Debbie said she was one and done. Let's go and see if Marty is still there for the 7-3 round. Victor Echo 3, Quebec, Echo.
VE3QEE, thanks for a very interesting evening, Chuck, and congratulations on the achievement there. and it's been kind of fun riding along.
Okay, Marty, thanks for hanging in there. We don't have you drop by too often, but on the 1600th net for AREG there, it's much appreciated, sir. And I do thank you for that. And so you two have a great rest of the evening, and we'll be saying hi on the Monday night net.
Oh, that's very good. Well, we'll look forward to seeing you if you're able. And I remember checking into this net a few years back when people like Guy Hosick used to check in when John was running it. So I did check in a few times way back then, but that was a long time ago. I wouldn't guess how many years ago. Over.
Yeah, yes, I know. I do. I don't know if you remember Don, VE3 EIR. He checked in last week, and he's another one of the old timers that's been around since John started it. So he stops in once in a while and says hi. And so yeah, very good, Marty. All right. Well, we look forward to checking in with you on the Monday Night Net on the NCF repeaters. And you always do a great job there, Marty. So thanks again for being part of this night with me and everyone else. And we'll talk to you again soon, sir.
Okay, thank you. Thanks for doing it. 73 for now, VE3 QEE, and good evening to everyone.
All right, 7-3, Marty. Let's go to Larry next, VE3 LBI.
Yep, still here, Chuck, listening along, and thanks for the updates on things tonight. I just had a quick question. I just wonder if it's okay if I can get a hold of Rick there, VE3BK.
Yeah, if he's still there. Rick, are you there?
Oh, yeah, I'm still listening. I wanted to talk to Larry, too. I found out what that problem was with the mic there, Larry.
That was my question, Rick. Okay. Why don't you let Chuck wrap it up, and then we'll talk after on this frequency, if you wish.
Roger on that, okay. And, yeah, and EIR, he was one of the guys out of the radio room there, Chuck.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I didn't know that. Yeah, nice guy. I've never met him, but only on the radio. And yeah, very nice gentleman. And it's always nice to hear him.
Okay, well, you finish it up, and then I'll talk to Larry.
Hope we pick you up on Friday night there on the ZOE Reg 2. All right, 7-3.
Okay. Next, let's go to Kevin, my neighbor, if he's still there, VE3WKG. I think I missed you for the second round there, Kevin. I do apologize. Okay, nothing heard. Well, that brings me to the end of the list because Bill, VE3IUK, is the last person on my list. Let's see if there are any stragglers out there that would like to check in to our weekly AREG net. This is VA3CJZ. Please come now.
So now let's bring that straggler here, VE3CU.
All right. Yeah, see, we pulled one out of the woodwork. VE3 Charlie Echo Uniform. Tomas, how you doing? Come on in.
Oh, good evening, Chuck, and everybody else on the net there. Yeah, doing just great there, Chuck. And yeah, I was watching TV for a bit there, and I thought, oh, yep, Wednesday night, I better see if I can get a bean spot for the last part of the net here. So, yeah, everything's doing okay at this end. I'm back to normal. My voice is back to normal, and after that 1 week long laryngitis, cold, and all that crap down.
Yeah.
So yeah, everything's doing great at this end.
Oh, glad you're feeling better, Tom. And by the way, you're, well, currently our last check-in for the 1,600th AREG net. So there you go. You're in the books.
Yep, I started on this AREG net when John was doing it, and it was just quite some time ago.
Yeah, yeah. And then John was getting a little bit long in the tooth sometimes with some people talking for 20, 30 minutes. And, people get discouraged with that. So it's understandable. But, anyways, hopefully he's fishing up north there in Manitouage or doing whatever he likes. But, Tom, thanks for checking in, sir. Very much appreciated. And two more sleeps till Friday there, my friend.
I can hardly wait. I'm going to have a nice 4-day weekend for sure. But, nothing else to report from this end there, Chuck. And thanks for doing it. And I'll just be sitting here listening along.
Oh, yeah, that's right. It's firecracker weekend. So if you want to get the cheapest fireworks, I suggest go to the Res. That's where I used to get mine. Anyways, still not cheap, but cheaper than in the city. All right, Tom. Well, thanks again for checking in. And so we'll clear with VE3 Charlie Echo uniform. And one more time, anyone else out there wishing to check in with us here on the Amateur Radio Exchange Group, please come now. Okay, well, we did it. It's 9:56 p.m. according to my computer here. And so we're going to wrap it up for one more week of the Amateur Radio Exchange Group. And I do appreciate everybody that checked in on YouTube as well as on the radio. I hope you had a good time. I know I did, talking to each and every one of you and keeping up to what's happening with you and your radio hobby and whatever other hobbies. Anyhow, I look forward to talking to you again next week. Same bat time, same bat channel. And tonight, uh, we got 17 check ins. So thank you all very much. And so I'll say 7-3 for now and return to frequency back to chitter chatter for Larry and Rick. This is VA3 CJZ. Good night, all.
7-3's Chuck. Thanks for doing it.
All right, Larry, go ahead there with Rick.
Yeah, VE3BK, VE3LBI.
Yeah, V3LBI, V3BK. Yeah, that was a dumb mistake. You know what it was? Too many cords on the ham table. I was trying the outfit I got that goes around my neck and works directly into the hearing aids.